Well, guys, price is bleeding. China has banned crypto for the seventh, eighth, ninth time. I've lost count at the moment, but look, this is the news that's come in, cracking down on Bitcoin and stablecoins because they've become these speculative tools, threat to the financial system, social stability, money laundering, illegal activities, all the usual stuff. So I'm going to keep an eye on the news feed because there's more and more coming in. Look, this time they've emphasized stablecoins. Tether's always been really popular in China, probably more than even in places that are, US dollar denominated economies. But he's talking about the risks that they bring and challenges for international monetary systems, payment systems, settlement systems. They're worried about the problem, so we took some measures. Look, this all comes after the recent debacle with hash rate. So just remember, a little while ago, I spoke about how it's this tussle between the US, who have the world reserve currency, and China. So when the US says something negative, China says something positive to pump the market. If it's not obvious still, think about which country has the most to lose and which has the most to gain by stockpiling anti-US dollar assets. I'm talking about gold as well as I think now crypto. I'm speculating that I do think China probably is, or it's in their best interest to stockpile these assets to some degree. I've also spoken about how China is playing the West. I mean, the West, I think, also tries to play this game. Everyone tries to play it. But stockpiling gold is hard work. It's expensive, hard to mine. The US has all these reserves in Fort Knox. Look, China have been a huge importer of gold, so is Russia, all these anti-US dollar countries. Then along comes Bitcoin and crypto, and all of a sudden it's free from US control, trades 24/7. China had the majority of hash rate, the majority of chip manufacturing capability, and now they can short the market and drop these headlines, make a big profit, then they buy the dip lower, and they get to ride it back up. So I definitely think there's all these games that are going on, and I've also said just recently on Twitter that I think that this was their last ace that they played. So they've gone in for the kill now, really. And if it didn't work, the market I think it has mostly brushed this off now. So when you think about it like that, they're getting desperate. And I said yesterday they will try anything when they get desperate. And sure enough, here we are the next day, they're coming out and saying these kind of things. So previously, it's been the US talking about blah, 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 risks to this, blah, 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 that. And it does make you wonder if behind closed doors, everyone is so threatened all of a sudden. Maybe Russia and China thought Bitcoin and crypto, it's competition for the US dollar, anything that's, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. But maybe stablecoins have grown so big so fast, they are now threatening China as well because they really want their digital yuan to do well, and they're going to push that on people. So whenever these things come out, it's always, talking and jawboning first to try and make it seem like they're in control and they want to let their own people know that this is happening and whatnot. But yeah, they're always going to try and make the digital yuan look better and crack down on crypto. So I think the market is getting a little bit stronger and just doesn't flinch as much. A bit like Elon Musk, it has less and less of an impact on the market the more it happens. But no surprises for me here. Literally yesterday, I outlined that I think something like this is going to happen. Now they're desperate. They're making more money on the way down. The only people that are left to really shake out are those weak hands because so many people are hodling. There's so few coins on exchanges, even more so for Ethereum. And I know sometimes it sucks. It feels like it doesn't make sense when everything is going well. There's all this good news. Why is price still going down? Particularly with Ethereum, it seems to be all over the headlines and it's getting absolutely smashed today. But this is the only way that the big boys at Mission Control that miss out, that's the only way they can get some, is smash it down once more, smash it down lower. So it's almost a compliment in some ways that the quality assets are the ones that are shorted the hardest. These guys have to use leverage to try and fill their orders on spot exchanges because if things are just drifting along sideways with no real volume, it's really hard for a big whale or a big institution to fill their orders or even negotiate OTC when everything's so strong, all the favors are in the hands of the holders. So few coins on exchanges, such thinly traded books, and that means they can push the price on the screen around. And it's the price on the screen that retail investors draw their emotions from, as well as this news cycle. So they're looking at their blockfolio, it's all red, they're working out how much money they've lost because their portfolio is down from its highs. And then we get hit with these, tweets and news cycles, and that's all they can really do to try and get people to sell and sell them their coins. And whenever we have these, big flushes, I'm reminded of back in 2017. These videos and this time was one of my favorite times in crypto. September 2017. Price is bleeding. We're at $3,080 after hitting $5,000, and everyone's talking about crypto being, dead. That was a bubble. And sure enough, what happened? Literally, I think it was an hour or two after this live stream when I was saying, don't panic. This is when you want to be buying. Blood in the streets, fib retracements, all the same stuff we're talking about now. Would you have wanted to be buying ETH at $200 or Bitcoin at $3,000? 3 months later, it was at 20. 4 months later, this was at $1,400. Litecoin went from 40 to 300 as well. So these are the sort of things that happen time and time again. Plenty of you will have probably learned your lesson and have been through a full cycle now. And you're sitting here at $2,000 ETH or $30,000 Bitcoin going, God, this is painful. Why isn't it going up? Is Peter Schiff right? This big head and shoulders, is it going to break down? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I still think we can add on a zero here in a year or two and get to 300,000. Add on a zero, get to 20,000. I think ETH's going to surprise people. I think that ETH could even go to 40, 50,000 in the next year or two if it really gains that adoption from corporates. Deep pockets. They want yield. It's a tech play. It's becoming more scarce. It's got the ESG, proof of stake goes well. So many people do not understand those narratives still. People have just wrapped their head around Bitcoin. So I think that whole narrative, let alone NFTs, gaming, so many things that are going to bring people into this whole ecosystem. So it's really exciting. Keep an eye on a few other things here. Bitcoin dominance, the ETH Bitcoin pair. You want to be seeing, are alts going to have their turn? Is Bitcoin going to steal the show? One thing, just quickly, I do want to show as well. I spoke about this on Ticker News this morning. This El Salvador, this app, awesome news. Lightning, these Lightning stats that I've been saying were going sideways basically for 2 years. This is what I wanted to see. Some growth, some DeFi-like growth. So look, this is awesome. This is great news. All those citizens are going to get $30, which is like a week's wage just for downloading this app. Chivo means goat or greatest of all time, which I think is, again, just so much cooler than these old senators and, so out of touch with the youth, and things like this are happening. I just can't wait to see what's going to happen. It's no wonder the IMF are, cracking down on them. If this goes well, I want to see this in 10 countries, 20 countries next year, 30 countries by the end of next year. And that really just takes the power away from the IMF and all the big banks. So there's plenty to be excited about. And I just wanted to do one of these videos because it's starting to really feel like back here when we had a lot of people that were new to the space that only experienced those nice big, up runs. And there was the first real test of 30% blood in the streets for ETH. I think ETH was down, 50% or whatnot. And people were struggling to understand why it is. But sometimes it is a compliment when your asset is being driven down by margin traders, and you're wondering, how can it be going down with all this good news? Well, there's plenty of technical analysis traders out there that trade on charts. There's people that trade on sentiment. Some people trade on fundamentals. And those people that are trading on fundamentals, they might be pushing the price down because there's good news and they want to buy more. And it's the only way they can fill their bags. So hopefully that makes sense. Do not panic. If you're in good assets, you do not want to be selling them and being shaken out now after this correction that we've been through. I don't think that we are going into that extended crypto winter sideways chop that everyone's talking about. Remember when everyone was parabolic and giving you their price targets? it feels like all the YouTubers and Twitter personalities, a lot of people now are saying, yeah, sideways chop. We've got to be patient. Good finish to the end of the year. Look, we might have one more leg down. It's almost people. It's unfashionable to be bullish and to talk about, hey, I think it's going to go up. And this is reflected in things like our funding rates. They're negative still. So all those ingredients are there to turn around and for only more people to jump to the other side of the ship and become bullish. And we can't have another super cycle without the need for a lot of people to flip to become bullish. We need new market participants, new money. We know all that is coming in a big way. And when you think about how many people are now on the sidelines, look at the stats. Record amounts of stable coins. They're piling up. Those stable coins that are piled up, it is a reflection of what we're just talking about. People thinking the market's going to go sideways. That's why China went in for the kill with the banning of the hash rate. The network has formed a new equilibrium. People are moving elsewhere. It's such a dumb move by them to do that and lose that power that they had. That's why they are panicking. Wouldn't surprise me if they do a 180 and say, hey, we want to lead the way in renewable mining adoption, and they're going to try and get it back or make it seem like they're in control. And maybe a lot of the hash rate is still there and they will turn it back on. And, just like they banned crypto and then a year later they come out and say, hey, we're pro Bitcoin and blockchain. This is a revolution. It's going to bring so much good. Well, here they are saying it's going to bring so much bad because it's almost gotten a little bit too big and too popular at the moment. It's threatening the digital yuan and their plans. Let's get it back in control. Let's keep price while it's down. We want to scoop up more. Let's try and liquidate all those traders, fill our own bags. They've got plenty of gold. I think they want plenty of Bitcoin. And, don't fall victim to this game. Right. I'm going to go play Lego with Louie. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care.